Raw was back in Paris tonight at the same location that hosted yesterday's Clash in Paris show, which was the Paris La Défense Arena. We opened the show with a shot of Paris. We get another nice pyro display with the Eiffel Tower, which still looks amazing. It's the same building, so we have the exact same set they used yesterday. It looks great with the Eiffel Tower in the center. A really nice visual. We never get any new sets other than WrestleMania, so once you get a set, it's always really going to stand out from the others, and it's really going to look very unique, and it gives a show a particular identity that others do not have because they all look the same. We see CM Punk waiting for Seth Rollins in the parking lot. Jey Uso starts off the show. He's eating. The Paris crowd loves it. He cuts a promo, and I'll admit, I thought he sucked. He has no charisma. He calls out Division. Instead, LA Knight comes out, who brings up that Jey messed up the match last night because he kept inadvertently helping Seth Rollins because he keeps kicking at he keeps super kicking both LA Knight and CM Punk, and again it helps Rollins. And I don't know. I mean, they're saying he no man for themselves, but at the same time, why not just take Rollins out and then settle it between the three of you? Then Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed interrupt them. Fans hate the heels. Braun challenged them to a tag match. They accept, both of them using their "yeah" and "yeet" catchphrases respectfully. Michael Cole announces Raw will now be live in France starting January on Netflix. So France has Netflix. They're going to get Raw on Netflix now in January. Backstage, Io Sky went up to Asuka and Kairi Sane and apologized to them. They all had a nice group hug, and they say it's all okay, and Io wants to talk to them, but then Asuka and Kairi have to leave for their match. It's pretty obvious that the big churn is going to come very soon. Next, we get a tag match. Roxanne Perez teaming up with Raquel Rodriguez, both of them representing the Judgment Day, against the Kabuki Warriors, Kairi Sane and Asuka, who both of whom were very over in Paris. Kairi, near the end of the match, she takes out Raquel with a top post elbow drop to the outside, which looked great. Back in the ring, Asuka and Roxanne have just this weird, awkward exchange. They're not on the same page. If anything, it was kind of a callback to Nikki Bella and Becky Lynch the night before, but eventually they settle it all out. Asuka puts her back into Asuka lock multiple times, and the first time it didn't look good, and then they had to redo the spot. I don't know what was happening. Someone was out of position. I assume it was probably Roxanne, just because Asuka's been wrestling for, 25 years or something? I don't know, 20 years at least. But Asuka gets the win with the Asuka lock, so the Kabuki Warriors are victorious. We get a video segment from Adam Pearce announcing that Stephanie Vaquer will face Io Sky for the vacant Women's World Championship at WrestlePalooza, which is looking like the most stacked card of the year. I think this might be the show of the year, the way this card looks right now, the way it looks like it's going to end up. It might be as good as Elimination Chamber was for the best WWE PLE this year. It looks really good. Finn Balor is out next, accompanied by JD McDonough. We see a cathedral in Paris, which looks really nice. And I was thinking, in France, there's a whole bunch of ancient cathedrals, but also a whole bunch of castles. Why couldn't you just call the show Clash at the Castle, Paris? I don't know. I'm still annoyed by that. Just call it Clash at the Castle. It's an awesome name. France has a whole bunch of castles. Clash at the Castle doesn't just have to be, particularly only for the British Isles. You can do one in continental Europe. There's castles all over Europe. Anyway, they show CM Punk still waiting for Seth Rollins in the parking lot. Then we get Finn Balor and Dragon Lee. Fans were behind Finn here. It's a European crowd, so I guess it's a similar situation as to why they were cheering Becky Lynch. Yesterday, Balor wins with the coup de grace, and he's victorious, but also JD McDonough got involved multiple times in this match, and it played into another match that happened later in the show. Io Sky talks Nikki Bella backstage. When they first showed Nikki on screen, the fans booed, but Nikki's congratulating Io and wishing her good luck against Stephanie Vaquer for the Women's World Championship at WrestlePalooza. And Asuka and Kairi Sane yell at Io Sky. They make Nikki Bella leave, and they want to help Io now. They're yelling at Io because she's talking to Nikki, and that causes Nikki to leave. and they want to help Io against Stephanie Vaquer. They say they'll help her win, and Io doesn't want their help. Kairi is trying to be nice to Io, but then Asuka always yells at her, so Asuka's the mean one, Kairi's the nice one. But I don't know, maybe they should have a Kairi stand up to Asuka, and Kairi and Io can be united together, because I know they're best friends in real life. New Day's out next. Who cares? They're the MFT for Raw. When the MFT comes on SmackDown, I immediately want to change the channel or turn off Netflix. When the New Day comes on Raw, I immediately want to turn off Netflix. That's the reaction I have. And I guess the similar position for me, in a similar position, is Dark State for NXT. The three worst stables: MFT, Dark State, New Day. All three of those stables have go-away heat with me. So backstage, Dom Mysterio is talking to Finn Balor and JD McDonough, and they're upset. Finn and JD were upset with Dom because he wasn't there with them, and Dom said he's there in spirit. Then Adam Pearce says that they're both barred from ringside. Finn and JD are. We get New Day, which is Kofi, Xavier, and I guess Big G, Grayson Waller, against the War Raiders and Penta. Penta pins Xavier Woods after a Mexican Destroyer. Not much to say here. Backstage, Kathy Kelly interviews Rhea Ripley on the Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer match. Rhea says she wants a shot at the winner. Then Asuka and Kairi appear, and Asuka gets right in Rhea's face. She says she's not Io's friend. She's already talking about a title match. Rhea tells Asuka not to push her. Asuka then puts her finger into Rhea's shoulder, and they're just going face to face. It's super intense. Rhea's looking ready, like she's ready to explode. This was actually really good. Asuka was just great here. And Asuka really can be, a hateable heel, it seems like. She's like coming off as just a total bitch here. And this was great. This is a great segment. AJ Styles is out next. Fans sing phenomenal to him. It's phenomenal, la 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 la. They kept singing it to him, and then when they come back from commercial, they're still singing. The announcers promote the European tour in January. And I don't believe there's a show in France set up in January for that tour before the Rumble. Then you have Roxanne Perez backstage with Raquel Rodriguez in Adam Pearce's office, and Roxanne is upset with Pierce because the title match doesn't have her in it when she beat Io Sky a few weeks ago. Roxanne wants in, and she's upset, and then Lyra Valkyria walks in, and both Raquel and Roxanne blame her and sort of mock her for Bayley not being there. They yell at each other, and then Lyra and Adam Pearce talk about Bayley after the other two leave, and it's set up where Lyra's going to face one of them next week. I think probably Roxanne, but it could be Raquel. And if it's Roxanne, I guess they would renew their rivalry from NXT. Dom Mysterio went up against AJ Styles for the Intercontinental title. Feels like this match has been promoted for a while. I thought AJ should have won here. I was looking forward to seeing AJ get a big win in front of the crowd that absolutely loves him. He's from Georgia, but his biggest support base is in France. But Dom won. El Grande Americano cost AJ Styles the match, and Dom Mysterio wins. And the way it ended, the announcer was saying, well, Dom was in control for most of the match. I'm thinking to myself, is AJ out of here? Because the way he lost here doesn't look like it's necessarily going to be someone who's staying. This is the second time he's lost to Dom. He lost to him at SummerSlam, got pinned after a frog splash. Now, night after Clash in Paris on Raw, gets pinned after a frog splash. And AJ was really soaking it in. He looked like he was almost emotional from the reception he was getting from the Paris crowd. And I thought, all right, it's just the reaction. Maybe he knows his time's up here. I don't know. But that did not necessarily look too promising for AJ Styles staying around in the near future. Michael Cole and Wade Barrett announced that Roman Reigns is now out indefinitely, so he's not going to be at WrestlePalooza. We won't see Roman Reigns until Survivor Series season. Backstage, Jackie Redmond interviews LA Knight. Yeah, he cuts a promo, and he's kind of ripping into Jey Uso, and then Jey appears. They tease tension before their tag team main event, not a title. Backstage, CM Punk talks to Rhea Ripley by the gate of the parking lot. Adam Pearce walks in. Rhea walks away afterwards. And I hope they're not going to do Punk and Rhea, because they were kind of teasing it that Punk and Rhea would team up now to face Becky and Seth, but that would be a mistake. I think everyone knows who we want to see now. Rhea walks away, and then Adam Pearce tells Punk that Seth Rollins is already in the building, and that leads to Punk going to the ring soon. There was a New Day funeral video package for the Raw Tag Team division, and they're playing Ave Maria and music in the background. I just thought it sucked. New Day is just awful. We get the 1000th Rusev video promo. Again, I've seen this a million times, but at least he has momentum now after that win against Sheamus at Clash at Paris. CM Punk is out next. He says he's waiting for Seth Rollins in the ring, and he's going to wait here all night. Becky Lynch comes out to Seth Rollins' song. Fans chant for AJ Lee. Becky makes a comment that she's not even work here, doesn't even work here. She's a dope who doesn't work here. Becky is mad at Punk because fans supposedly chanted his name during her matches. I'm thinking to myself, when? I don't remember Becky's matches. I remember there were really shitty matches where fans would chant Punk because they were mad at the match, but I don't remember them chanting for Punk during Becky's matches. I really don't remember. I remember the fans really supporting Becky during that time, especially when Punk came back in AEW first. I mean, that's really when the chants died off. And, when Becky's really at her peak, they weren't chanting for Punk during her matches. The matches with Charlotte, and the feud with Ronda Rousey, all that stuff she did. I don't remember, Punk chants. But she's mad at him, and fans then tell Becky to shut the fuck up. They were a lot less friendly to Becky tonight than they were yesterday. And maybe it's not just, she's a European who they wanted to cheer. Maybe they just didn't like Nikki Bella. Maybe that's part of it. They were booing Nikki tonight as well. Anyway, Punk tells Becky that this will never be over between him and Seth. Seth finally comes out. He kind of baits Punk. Punk's about to go after him, but Becky keeps getting in his way. And then Seth leaves, and Punk has his back turned. When he turns back to Becky, she begins punching him. She punched him right in the face, and she slaps him like a whole bunch of times in the face, slaps him in the chest, slaps him in the shoulders. It's really intense here. You makes Becky just come off as a total bitch here. And, Punk is just fuming. He has bloodshot eyes. He's all red. He wants to just explode here. Then he eventually leaves, and she begins trash-talking him as he's leaving. He's fuming. And, it really makes you think AJ Lee's about to come out. I mean, I was thinking, is AJ going to come out right now? Then, no, they're in Paris. But I fully expect to see AJ next week or the week before WrestlePalooza. Perhaps even here this Friday. We might see AJ Lee on Friday, but I think AJ is coming back. We're doing a mixed tag match. CM Punk and AJ Lee against Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch at WrestlePalooza. They promote SmackDown, which will be John Cena's final appearance in Chicago this Friday. Big SmackDown. Jey Uso is out next. Then you have Adam Pearce talking to CM Punk backstage. He says he'll be at SmackDown this Friday. We could see AJ this Friday. So, after that, we see the Vegas Strip because they're promoting the WrestleMania pre-sale, which starts tomorrow. They show us the Vegas Strip, but we don't see the Eiffel Tower in Vegas. Instead, we see the real Eiffel Tower lighting up at Paris during the night. So, I guess they didn't want to show the copycat because the fans might boo. I don't know, but I just thought they could have shown that. It's not a big deal. So we get the main event: Jey Uso and LA Knight against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed and LA Knight are out of the match for a while. They're on the outside near the end, and the whole story at the end was Jey Uso still having those taped up ribs. He showed it at the beginning of the show, so it came back and play at the main event. And Braun Breaker spears Jey Uso in his injured ribs and pins him 1, 2, 3. They continue to attack Jey. LA Knight tries to fight them off, but they spear him as well. Then Jey gets speared again by Braun. Then he gets a tsunami. However, Jimmy Uso makes a save. He runs out with a chair to stop the assault. I don't know why he didn't come out a little bit earlier, but he fights him off, has a chair, and I guess the Usos are back. I think it'd be cool if they were back. I think that would help the tag division so much on Raw if those guys were back. It would do a lot. And that's how Raw ended. And this was a long Raw. This was like almost 3 hours. Much longer than usual. The Paris crowd was magnificent, so you had that. But that's how the show ended. I think adding Becky Lynch to the division has done a lot for the group. I think it's breathed new life into the group. It's rejuvenated them. And I shouldn't even say rejuvenated. They were never good in the first place. But it's definitely been a breath of fresh air. I'll say it like that. So we'll see what happens as we are now on the road to WrestlePalooza. I'm looking forward to it. I think WWE is starting to get some momentum back, and I think we're going to get a better fall than we had this summer. So we'll see what happens. They have to go at football season now. This is the last Raw before Monday Night Football, which starts next week. And I believe Raw starts an hour earlier now at 7 o'clock, so I appreciate that. I like the earlier starts anyway, so we'll see what happens. But as I said, we are now on the road to WrestlePalooza.